Hello and satanic blessings, everyone. Okay, so I'm doing a video on this. I got a new phone. I had to get a new phone. It was about time. And I promised Satan I'd get a new phone. Because I was having issues with my old phone that I try to keep and hold on to. I'm not a techie person, so I like to keep phones for as long as I want. Okay, so I wanted to make this video, and just to get this out there as a disclaimer, I may not seem to communicate very well like I used to. I used to be. I love public speaking. I still do, and I love to talk to the public. But I feel that because of my treatments that I'm taking, that I have a hard time looking for words. So trying to find, sometimes I get lost for words when I never was like that. So you might hear me say a lot or stutter. It's just because it's hard for me to spit out nowadays what I want to say. So just bear with me. So sometimes I feel like I sound like a crazy person. Okay, so I was just watching a video from a theistic Satanist that I like. I subscribe to this person's channel, and I like her content that she puts out. But this particular person she put out a video, and this is not the first time. It's been building up, I think, in the left-hand path community for a while now, and it seems as if the theistic, I'm not talking about the atheistic Satanists, the theistic people who are theistic Satanists, and people who are left-hand path, black magicians, sorcerers, who work closely with Satan, a lot of times they seem to be very separated, and one thinks they're correct, and one group thinks they're correct, and the other group thinks they're incorrect. Now, from my point of view, I'll explain so you'll know where I'm coming from. Now, as a being in the flesh, I don't have I don't claim to have all the answers. I try to do the best that I can, and to the very best of my ability, I put out content that I believe is authentic and true. And if I receive a message from a deity, I verify that and make sure that I have their approval, that I'm representing that deity to put out content based on their behalf. Okay? So, that being said, consider myself, if someone asks me what my religion is, I'll say I'm a traditional Satanist and pagan. Why? Because my God that I honor, first and foremost, above any other deity, any other being in the universe, is Satan. Father Satan, Satan Lucifer, the devil, Satan. Okay? To me, they are all one and the same. From my knowledge, from what I experience, there's not just one side to gods. Gods have different aspects. They have different sides to them. They can shapeshift, and you could work. They will come to you in ways that you feel comfortable, or you need to speak with them at that particular time. So for me, the devil, Lucifer, Satan are one and the same, because Satan is so complex. And the gods, they're all so complex that you can't just put them in little cookie cutter boxes. Okay, so that being said, now, I also honor, pay reverence to, and have relationships, working closely with some of the demons. And also, more recently, I've been called by some other other gods as well, from what people would consider to be pagan, other pagan traditions, because the infernal is not a pagan tradition. The infernal is the infernal. So, I'll give you an example. I've been called by Freya, and I feel close with Freya at this this time. And when I go ahead and I work with deities, I don't work with them to gain something from them. Like, a good example, if someone were to say, go to this deity because they will help you with money. Well, I'm not going to go to them. Not that I don't like them or I have anything against them, but if I don't know them and I don't have a connection with them, I'm not going to go up to somebody like a stranger and ask them for money. I would go to a close a partner or family member for money. I wouldn't go to a stranger for money. Even if that stranger was very wealthy, was a millionaire, I'm not going to go up to them and say, can you lend me, $100. I'm going to go up to my, significant other or family member or a very close friend and ask them, can I borrow some money? Okay? So that is how I see working with deities. So I build relationships first. And I don't do spells very often. I only do spells if I need something. I just don't do... I don't always have my hand out. Only when I need something. If something is something I really want, or I really need to have something done, or I'm having an issue with something, which we all come across. In life we're going to have issues. We're going to have confrontations with something. Then I will do, working, and I will go to my gods and ask my gods for help with something. And every time I've needed help, I've always had the help that I've needed. Everything, when I did, the few times I've done spells, they have all worked. I'm not a professional at spells, but the times I have done spells, they have worked for me very well. And I did them with and I asked the gods first. I'm probably getting off subject here, but bear with me. So I would ask the god first. I wouldn't just do a spell. I would talk to my friend. I would talk to my god. And good example, say I have a money problem. Something is wrong legally. So I'm very close with Belial. I love Belial. He is one of my patrons. So I will ask Belial, tell him my problem, which he already knows, but as a being in the flesh, it's better for me to say it out loud. He already knows. And I'll say, do you mind, to help me with this? I always ask them first, because they're not bound. I don't care what kind of ceremonial magic you do and how powerful you are. If they don't want to do something, they're not going to do it. So I always ask permission first. And then when, if, say Belial says, yes, I will help you. So then I will go ahead and I don't know if I don't know yet if either the gods, they put in my mind what they want, or they suggest a ritual to be, or I come up with it on my own. But either way, I will have something in my mind of what to do as far as magic goes. And then I will discuss it with Belial, Satan, the god I'm working with, and say, what do you think about that? This is the procedure that I want to do, for this ritual. What do you agree to that? Do you think that's a good idea? And if they agree to it, then I will, I'll say, okay, tomorrow or tonight, whenever, I'll do this ritual. And then before I do that, I will go ahead and do divination again, and just to clarify, they don't need it. It's more for me, just to, like, I'm confirming we're doing this now. But I don't follow rituals. I don't follow anything in books. I either they put something in my head, or I come up with it on my own on the fly, or it's a mixture of both. Either way. So I would never write a magic book. I at least not now. I don't see myself ever writing a magic book, because I don't follow. I don't even write them down. When I do rituals, I don't even write down what I do. I journal divination. So I will record either on my phone if I can't find a pen, or I will, if I'm lucky to have my pen, I will write in my magic journal, what I get from my divination sessions, which is mostly tarot and sometimes oracle. Or if something were to happen, or that I feel is a message. But most likely, when I'm doing my journal, my tarot divination, and I'm communicating, a lot of times, if it, I will write it down. Not all the time, not if I'm having like a casual conversation, but most of the, a lot of times I will either take pictures of the cards, write it in, type it up in my phone if I don't have a pen on me, or if I do, then I'll write it in my journal. I'll journal it. Keeping a divination journal, I think, is a good idea. You can go back on it and look at the messages from your deity, so you don't have to keep asking them the same questions all the time. You could, I suggest that when you get messages from a deity, to write it down. I write down the deck I used, the cards, and the interpretation of the message from the deity. Now, like I said, as far as magic is concerned and spell work, I don't write anything down. It could change from day to day. I feel that magic is abstract. I feel that it runs on intention and emotions. So I feel that that's the reason why a lot of people, everyday people, they will go and they will, I have had people say to me that they followed rituals and spells step by step and bought all the ingredients and it doesn't work. And they want to know why. And I said, I'm not surprised, because that's not what the magic is about. It's not the, ingredients do help. If you find something that you like, I will be for one. There's some things that I buy from some people that make magical elixirs and products. And I like them. I'm going to buy them. But I have to like them. It's because I choose to use it. So if I choose to use an oil or a water or an herb, whatever it may be, it's because, candle, whatever, it's because I choose to work with it. I feel that it's what I want to do. But it may not be what another person, it might not align with them. So I don't think all magical rituals are for everybody. But it's good to read about people's, what they do. Because some things, sometimes you could find things in a book. And you'll like one ritual a lot. But maybe you don't like the other ritual. Or maybe you like half the ritual But you say, you know what, I really like this, this, and this, but I want to substitute this herb with that herb instead. I like this, this, and this, but I'd rather use dragon's blood oil instead of lavender oil. It's, something like that. So, what was I getting off topic here? So yes, that's how I feel about magic. It's not a good. Something just came up into my head right now. It's like medicine. Not all medicine prescriptions work for everyone. For depression and anxiety, there's so many different drugs on the market because so many different people have different reactions to them. Birth control pills, the same way. There are hundreds and hundreds of different types of birth control pills. And one person will have, if you ever look at reviews for birth control pills, you're not going to get all bad and you're not going to get all good. It's going to be a mix of both. Some people are going to say this birth control was the most amazing thing in the world. Some people say they lost weight on it. Their skin cleared up. It controlled their period. Other people are going to say, oh my God, I got such bad acne. My hair's falling out and I gained weight. Everybody's body is different. So I think that different spells work for different people, and I don't know how to be able to teach that to people, and I really don't want to teach that to people. That's not my I don't really want to, I don't think everybody should know magic, to be honest, because it tends to get into the wrong hands, and we see that a lot in our community, that a lot of people come to this path for the wrong reasons, and they want to do harm to other people. And I just say, imagine if everybody in the world had access to the occult knowledge that Satanists and left-hand path occultists had. This world would be in a disaster. It would be really bad. Not everybody should have access. Only certain, because it comes with power, comes responsibility. And not everybody is responsible enough to have power and knowledge. That's just my opinion, though. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So that brings me back to the main focus of this video. The main focus of this video is people's in the left-hand path community's views, and it seems to be a struggle. And I've noticed that as a theistic, traditional Satanist, demonolator, and pagan, the pagan gods right now that I'm just starting to work with are Freya, and I feel strongly calling towards Freya, and also Hel. Goddess Hel is starting to pull me towards her as well. So I'm going to be setting up altars for one for Freya and one for the Norse goddess Hel. Okay? Also, now one of my main matrons is Mother Lilith is always my mother, but now I also consider Astaroth Astarte as my mother as well, as a matron, and I believe that Astaroth, because I've asked Astaroth, Astarte, Ishtar, Inanna, and Babylon are one and the same. They're the same deity, a female. So I'll take the Astaroth symbol And that's not, I do not see Astaroth at all as the male duke that they say in the Solomonic grimoires. To me, Astaroth is Astarte, goddess Astarte Ishtar, and Babylon as well. So the Star of Babylon and the Star of Astaroth, to me, I will use both of them as symbols for Astarte. Good example here is the Ducante sigil of Satan. Okay, the Ducante sigil of Satan. And there is also, now I don't have it on me right now. I have them everywhere except when I need it in reach. There's different sigils for Satan. There's, you know what I mean. So there's the pentagram. There is the that, you know what I'm talking about, the other sigil of Satan, the one that's triangular, V-shaped. I'm sorry, I just don't have it in front of me right now. But if you're on the left-hand path, you know the mainstream sigil of Satan. This one is not as mainstream. Not everybody knows this, but this is for me what I consider to be when I connect to Satan's dark side, because I tend to feel the most connected to Satan in his dark aspect. This is the sigil that I use. So this is called the Ducante sigil of Satan. And it is not as popular as the other sigil of Lucifer, which to me is still Satan. So there's different symbols. Oh, another different subject. I was able to get my nails done. Oh, here we go. That was probably a reason why I just thought to show my nails. This is the symbol. I have it right here. This is the symbol that I'm talking about of Lucifer. That I was trying to say triangular or V. This is the mainstream. This is the one. This is the one of Lucifer, Satan. That sorry, crumbs. This is the one I was trying to what I'm talking about. This one right here. So this is the sigil of Lucifer, the one that most people know about, most occultists, because I'm sure you're not gonna. I'm sure you're gonna show this to a Christian and they won't even know what it is. I've worn necklaces with this sigil on it, and I've had Christians saying, "Oh, that's a beautiful necklace," and I just smile, saying, if they really knew what it meant. But left-hand path occultist, this is the mainstream one, and this is the Ducante sigil of Satan. And also I like the sigil of Baphomet with the star with the goat, and also the as above so below goat. And so it really depends. I wear this. I wear jewelry with this on it. And of course the inverted pentagram with the goat. That's Father Satan as well. Because I also see Father Satan as the black goat of the woods, aka the witch father. I see him as that too. So, that being said, there were so many different there's so many different ways to connect with deities. And I've noticed lately that some of the theistic Satanists who honor and worship Satan, some of them are bashing the popular publishing houses, and they're bashing anyone that markets their craft. And I just have to say that that's wrong. And that was the whole point of me making this video. And here at 25 minutes and 4 seconds, I actually come out around and saying it. Like I said, it's hard for me to communicate like I used to. So, a lot of these that claim to be the true Satanists, and they're true Satanists, but they're bashing the people in the spotlight. They're bashing the popular people that one would consider to be YouTube celebrities. And as far as I know, I ask Father Satan his opinion on people before I'm going to go and spend, my money on anyone's services or products. So if I'm purchasing, something that, is a product or service. Now, I'll tell you that there have been a couple times where Satan told me, don't bother with I got some bad readings on Etsy, and they were really cheap, and I was bored. So I wanted to see what, like other people's $3, or $4 readings were, $5 readings were. And Satan says, it's not going to get you anywhere. And lo and behold, he was correct. I just wanted to see. And the readings were so off, so ridiculous, so crazy. And he was correct. But I'm not, I'm not going to spend money, especially when something is expensive, and I'm not going to invest in that if I feel that it's fraudulent. And I will ask Satan first, especially if it has to do with rituals or books or path workings involving him. I'm going to go to him first. And he has said that the things that I have purchased and invested in are 100% legit and 100% he wholeheartedly supports and approves of. I'm not going to name names, but if you're in the occult community, you know the people who are, the popular marketers. And just because they market and want to make money off of something, it doesn't mean that they're fake. It just means that that's their business, and they're making that's their bread and butter. They choose to make that, to do that, to put a roof over their head. So if they don't have a day job and they've committed themselves to doing that solely and writing books and performing rituals for hire, then of course they want to push their products. Of course they want to, sell. They want to have food on the table. They want to have the same things as everybody else has. They want to have, a car and, go on vacation, and they want to have food, So I think it's kind of ridiculous to say to people, to say, oh, I wouldn't trust this person because they market themselves, or, they charge this amount of money. Well, you know what? They're putting in a lot of work. Some people put in, 10 hours worth of work for rituals to set up, to get all the ingredients together. And that's a large chunk of their day. They put a lot of work into it. It's, it's not just like, bippity boppity boo. So, they have a right to charge, and especially if that's, their main source of income. So I have to say that is incorrect. That people who are marketing when people say they're frauds and don't fall for them. No, that's incorrect. Not everybody's a fraud. So ask your gods who's a fraud and who's not a fraud. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, theistic Satanists that worship Satan. They are 100% children of Satan as well. Satan appreciates that. Satan appreciates people that do ceremonial magic to connect with him. Satan appreciates people that say, Satan, as they're eating their dinner, this is what I did today. I had a good day, I had a bad day, as they're unwinding. Even if you're in the restroom and you talk to Satan casually, he appreciates that. And he also appreciates you doing, a full, all frills ceremony. He appreciates both. He needs both. He needs people to say, you don't need any books to connect with him, because you don't need anything. You can connect with him on your own. You don't need to buy a thing. You just need your intent and your heart and soul and devotion and willing to learn and desire to learn. That's all you need. He needs people to say that. So the people that also say, the theistic Satanists that say you don't need to spend money, they are still correct. They are still correct. Even though they're seeing things, and I'm seeing things from a different point of view. I'm seeing things from like a far above or far away point of view. Everyone is valuable in this community. Even the Satanic temple, whether they want to know it or not. The Satanic temple is doing the devil's work, even if they don't believe they are, and which they don't. The Satanic temple is important, even though a lot of them are idiots on a personal level. Their work is important because they are mainstream. And